everybody, welcome to Erndales. My name is Dale and this is my YouTube channel Erndales, where I talk about all the things that I love to do, my hobbies, my crafts, my writing, my music, gardening, everything. How are you all today? It is really early in the morning here. I got up really early. I needed to record this. My husband is a pastor and he does online services, and so we share our equipment, and he needs to do a service this morning online, as well as he's doing a live, so he needed the tripod. And I says, well, then I got to get up early because I need it too. We need to invest in some more equipment, I think. Anyway, welcome. It's an early morning. I'm having my breakfast this morning with you. I made a smoothie. I don't have a smoothie every morning, but some mornings I just feel like one. So I'll tell you what's in it. There is a cup of milk, and there's a cup of strawberries, sorry, a quarter cup of oatmeal. What else is in here? A banana and a package of yogurt, and all smoothed up. So it's loaded with really good stuff. And actually, when I have a smoothie like this in the morning, I don't feel even like eating lunch most days, because it really does get me going and gives me energy. It's full of good stuff and I love them. So let me have a sip. So good. So we are on the tail end of the second winter storm that has blown through here in the last 3 days, I guess I could say. Thankfully, we didn't get much of the snow with it. Other parts of the province have gotten quite a bit of snow, but we've missed out on both ends of snow for both storms. But yesterday, we had horrendous winds again. And what little snow we had the time before, it blew it up. So all the highways were closed because the visibility was so bad. You couldn't see anything. And there were times, we have slate shingles on our roof. And I was up here yesterday cleaning around. And they rattle if it's a little bit windy. They must move or something. I don't know, anything about roofing, but they were so noisy up there that I actually got a headache. I had to leave and go downstairs because I couldn't stand that. First of all, the wind noise, and then these crazy slate shingles doing their dance up there. It was terrible. But it's all calmed down now, and it's supposed to warm up. And, this is the thing about Manitoba. We can have, especially in spring, we can have a really long winter like this year that goes into April. And then it'll just turn hot, boom, just like that. And right now, in our backyard, where all my gardens are, we have probably still up to 2 feet of snow in piles all over, because the wind blew it and, mounded it up. And then where we shoveled and mounded it up. And in 2 days, it's supposed to be 18 degrees Celsius, which is in the 60s, I would think. Right now, it's -8. So, we're going to go from having all this snow to an instant melt, and we're going to be in trouble. We're going to have a flood, I think, in our yard. It's just going to be a mess. But it is what it is. We can't fight Mother Nature, so we just deal with it. And then now they're also saying that we may have a drought this year. So maybe this is the only moisture that we're going to have for the year. I don't know. Anyway, I was up here yesterday and I was cleaning, because do you get this way? You go to your craft area if you're lucky enough to have one, and you do something, you put it down. You do something, you put it down. And I can do this for months. Doesn't bother me. And then one day it'll just get on my nerves and I'll walk up here and I'll think, okay, I can't deal with this. I got to do something. And this is how I roll, I guess. And I have been doing this since, probably November. I've been putting, you know, I had done a nice big clean through. I did a purge. Everything was lovely. And then I've just been working on stuff. And then I work on something, I put it down. I work on something else and I put it down. And then pretty soon I can't get through here. There's no surfaces that aren't piled with things, and it makes me nuts. So yesterday was the day to get rid of the nuts. And I did a really good job. Look at how nice I've organized things. It's amazing how good, how long that'll last, I really don't know. That's my sock yarn stash, part of it. And then I've organized my stashes, and I've once again vowed to do something about these stashes, because I came across something that really made me kind of upset with myself. But before I show you that, I'm going to show you what I have done. I have actually accomplished something this week. I have been doing my little bit of spring cleaning, even though I've been really slow at it because it hasn't been spring weather, and that just kind of goes against spring cleaning, but whatever. But I did finish these socks. Now I'm showing them to you the wrong way. They go this way because there's a pattern, and there's actually a left and a right on these socks. So these are the Wish You Were Here socks by Kitchen Sink Shop. Garlene of Kitchen Sink Shop. She's got some wonderful patterns. These are a paid-for pattern on Ravelry, but she has a lot of free patterns too, socks and all kinds of things. Does a lovely work. She's a Canadian girl. So I finished these. I made these for a friend of mine who right now is just going through the beginning parts of her breast cancer journey. And I just wanted to send her a little hug because I know how that is. I've been there, done that twice. So these are, I should actually have sent them. And if it hadn't been storming, I would have sent them yesterday. But I didn't feel inclined to go out into the snowstorm. So they're going in the mail, hopefully today or tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's a holiday. Today, they're going in the mail. And I have, that's the only actually thing I've finished, believe it or not. Although I have done a lot of other stuff, but that's the only thing I've actually finished. And then I had finished this before. You saw it in my last video. This is the Smorgasbord sock by Cynthia Wise. The thing is with this pattern came out of a book. And I didn't think that it was anywhere, but I actually have found it, and it is on Ravelry, and it is a free pattern. So it's a very textured pattern. It's a lovely pattern. And this was the very first sock pattern that I ever knit. When I first taught myself how to knit socks on DPNs, this was the sock I chose, believe it or not. But it's such a simple construction. The heel goes together so easy. Like, this was a perfect sock to learn how to knit socks on. So this is one finished, and I've cast on the other one. I'm only this far. But these whip up really fast because they're on a 3.75 millimeter needle. And it's DPN weight. That's actually why I chose this pattern when I was teaching myself how, because I didn't want to, I wanted to start with, sorry, a yarn that was a little bit thicker and needles that were a little bit thicker, just for learning purposes. And believe me, these go really quickly. They knit up very fast. So that's one thing I'm working on. And then, oh, excuse me, gotta take a sip. And then I cast on another pair of socks. Of course, I always have to have several pairs of socks on the go. So these are, actually, let me do it this way. These are the slip stitch socks, and I'm doing them with Croy. And actually, this pattern is written for Croy yarn, and it's quite nice. I think these would look really good on a plain, not a patterned yarn, just a plain yarn, because I like I like how the slip stitch is coming up. I think I will, I'm going to finish these, but I'm going to, I think I'm going to start a pair on just some plain yarn and see how it looks. Maybe for men, that would be really nice on a plain yarn. And so you would have this striping effect here. So that's another thing that I'm working on. But like I was saying, I was cleaning yesterday, and downstairs, I have a rocking chair downstairs and a rocking chair upstairs here. And I have projects in baskets in both areas. And when I was cleaning through here, and I thought, you know, I think I was looking for something, and I thought, oh, I bet you it's in the basket downstairs. So the basket downstairs sits behind my rocking chair, and to be honest with you, not much lands in it, except if it's something that I'm not working on or whatever. So I found the basket, and I brought it upstairs, and I dumped it out, and I was appalled. I have now got what I'm going to call the basket of shame. This is the basket. It's a big basket, okay? And in here, I couldn't believe quite how much stuff was in here. And it actually kind of upset me. So I'm going to show you what was in the basket of shame. It's still in the basket of shame because I put the stuff all back in here because I wanted to show you how shameful this really is. So these are all projects that I'm sure you have seen, and you've probably seen them in exactly the same way. So in the basket of shame, I found, remember these? Cable mittens, the one, I got one done. And there's the second one. That's the first thing in the basket of shame. That was, I think, in January. But we go a lot further back than that. In the basket of shame, two gloves. I knit these for my husband to wear in fall, late fall. They're not finished. They're finished. The knitting is finished, but I haven't, that's all I have to do. Shameful. One sock. I'd actually even forgotten I had done this sock. I have yarn for the other, actually I have a lot of this yarn. This is actually a cotton yarn, and I made this sock for my sister-in-law who has a very tiny little foot. One sock. Gotta finish the other one. One glove for me. I don't even know what pattern this is. I think I know where I can find it, but yeah, one glove for me. But the real shameful thing, this is the one that really got me, is I found this. Now, this project from here has been going on for probably 3 years, maybe even 4. I think before the pandemic, I bought this kit. It wasn't a kit. It was from Annie's Attic, and it was project of the, no, not a project of the month. A knit of, every month you would get a package from Annie's Attic, and it had a portion of a project. And this project, you got a package every year, every month for a full year to make an Afghan. And I've got a picture here I can show you. This is the Afghan that you make. And so this is now, what I'm working on is blocks 16 to 18. So this would have been probably the 9th month. I have finished up to the 9th month. I can prove that to you too. Look at here. I'll show you this. Just move this other stuff out of my way. So there's three blocks per month that you get. You get 2 balls of yarn and a pattern like this. And in this pattern, in this little pamphlet, there's enough for, there's three different blocks, and you get whatever color these blocks are, you get 2 balls of yarn for it. So here are some of the blocks that I've already done. And there's 3 colors to this afghan. These are the 3 colors. Actually, I think it goes this way. There's some really pretty patterns in here. Oh, which way does this one go? This one goes this way. Or maybe this way. No, this way. I don't know. This one is, for some reason, is really large. I think I'm gonna have to redo this one. I think my tension was off there. Some of these I don't know which is the right and the wrong side. They obviously need to be blocked to get to the same size. I like this one. It's just a plain one, plain garter stitch. So those are what I have finished, and I have 3 in this. There's 3 in the patterns that I'm working on now, and then I have 4 more. These are the other ones. So that's how much I have left to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 12. And then the 3 I'm working on now. So the one I'm working on now is a cable. Yeah, and when I found that, I kind of really got disgusted with myself, because that's a project that I really wanted to finish the very first year that I was getting all this. I wanted to have it done by the end of the 12 months. And look at all the time that's gone by. So I am not putting this away. I'm going to bang on with this and get this done and get the afghan, because it's a beautiful afghan. I could really use this. I could have used this afghan all winter long, wrapped around me, you know, like it's really lovely. So that kind of upset me, but we're not done with the basket of shame yet. Hold on, there's still, well, that's funny, my phone just shut off on me. Dishcloth and another pair of socks. Which are these beautiful socks. Forgot about them. That they are the Let's Stay Home socks by Nancy Wheeler. So that is my basket of shame, and it is very shameful. I'm really disgusted with myself. These are all small projects. There's, you know, if I put my mind to it, I could get a lot of these out of here. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Obviously, the blanket, the sampler throw blanket thing is going to take some time. But the rest of them, I can finish those all off. And I'm going to. You hear me right now on this video saying, I am going to do this. And I am going to make me accountable to you to get this done. There's one other thing. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. And in my defense, this is a long-term project, but it's really long-term because I haven't touched it in about 2 years. And that's this blanket. I started this. Now, I think the reason I haven't finished this is because it's acrylic, number one, and I don't like the feel of acrylic now. I've been working so much with wool that I really am not enjoying acrylic. And it's worsted, so it's super duper heavy, which isn't a problem. I mean, where I live, this is the kind of stuff that we would wrap up into. But, yeah, and it's not that I don't have any balls to work with. I have 4 drawers of acrylic yarn that I could put into this. So this is another thing. Once I get the other one done, though, I'm not going to pull this one out of the bag to work on. I'm just pulling it out to show you, and I'll stand up so you can see it better. It's not really all that large yet. It still fits in a grocery bag. But this would be a really nice blanket to have on the couch in the family room. I know when I get this finished, this will be what my husband will be having his naps under. I know that for a fact. So this one I am not going to work on. I'm going to put this one back in the bag, and I'm going to put it somewhere where I can see it so I won't forget about it. But I'm going to finish the other blanket first, because that one is a little bit more, it's a little bit easier to knit in now that it's getting warmer. I'm not going to want to have this sitting on my lap. This is a good project to work on in the wintertime when you're feeling a little bit on the cold side. So that one can go back in the bag and stay there. So that's my basket of shame. And as bad as that is, there's another one, which I'm not going to show you, up here behind my rocking chair up here. And that one has got crocheted things in it. And to be honest with you, I have not crocheted in a long time. I used to only crochet. I always knew how to knit, but I didn't like knitting. I found it slow and pokey, and I don't know, I just didn't like knitting. And so I crocheted, and I crocheted a lot of different things, all the way from thread to yarn. I did a lot of thread crochet. I did a lot of Victorian ornaments and things like that. But I haven't actually crocheted in a long time. So there are some crochet patterns that have come across my field of vision lately that I'm kind of tempted to try. But first I got to get all this knitting caught up. And on that note, I've ordered more yarn for another knitting project. And I'll show you. I want to do this Sunday morning wrap by Espace Tricot. Did I say that right? I don't know. And I ordered the yarn from Yarn Canada yesterday for this, which will be arriving next week. I want to wrap. Ever since I've had COVID, I've been having these chills around my neck. I've never had this before. And I walk around, and they come on just like that. And so I'm walking around the house with a great big Afghan wrapped around my neck, because my neck, it's like somebody's pouring ice water or have your neck packed in ice. That's how cold it feels. And it lasts for an hour or so, and then it goes away. And so I thought, instead of, walking around with something stupid wrapped around my neck when this hits me, I'm just going to make myself a pretty wrap that I can do, you know, when it hits, I can wrap it around my neck and I don't look like, you know, some kind of idiot. So that is on the horizon. And I'm sure that I'll start that when the yarn comes next week. So that is my basket of shame. I'm very happy to share that with you. And I'm hoping that you can keep me real on this project, on getting rid of all these projects. They're all small, so I should be able to work through them. I actually have gone on the internet and printed off a whole bunch of new sock patterns as well. I'm getting kind of tired of the same old sock. So, but that's for the future. I want to get rid of all of this stash, and I'm working on Christmas presents for this year. So that is in the future as well, but that's not right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish my breakfast, and I'm going to knit on one of those socks, and then I am going to upload this and hopefully get it up today. I don't know what happened to my little clicker. So thank you for watching me. You can find me on Instagram as Erndales. I'm on Facebook. No, Instagram is Erndales and More. Hashtag Erndales and More. I'll put it all in the description below. Facebook is Erndales. I do have a blog, which I have not written on for quite a while, but there are years and years of material on there. I have recipes, I have patterns, I have stories, I have poems that I've written, I have 2 of my novels on there, and a lot of my photography. So if you want to get lost in my past, that's a good place to start, and that is at erndalesandmore.blogspot.com. And I really need to get back to writing regularly on my blog, because it is something that I really do enjoy doing. And my email, of course, I'll put that below for you as well. And I will say happy Easter to everyone. Next week, we are going to see our son. We can't go this weekend because, like I said, my husband's a pastor, and Holy Week is a very busy time for pastors. And he has services today, tomorrow, and Sunday. So we can't go and see our son, but we are going next weekend. So I hope to be able to pop in here next week, but if I don't, that's why. I will see you the following week. So take care, everybody. Have a very happy Easter. And I hope you're not like me and have these baskets of shame. But if you do, you're in good company. Take care, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.